Welcome to our Clock Tower 3 playthrough. We've been anticipating this one for quite a while.
Clock Tower 3 was released in North America in 2003, and it's technically the fourth Clock Tower game in the series.
The reason for this being that only two games had been previously released in North America, and probably most importantly, in Japan, Clock Tower 2 was actually Clock Tower Ghost Head and is intended, as far as I can tell, to be more of a side story to the actual games. So Clock Tower 3 is where the numbered series picks up properly again. This one was actually a commercial failure. It sold much less than was projected.
Yeah.
Kind of unfortunate because that kind of signaled the death knell for the series over here.
There was a spiritual successor, Haunting Ground, and recently there is Nightcry, which is, again, trying to be another spiritual successor to the Clock Tower series.
Although, looking at the gameplay, I mean, you can pretty much say that this is it's pretty much Clock Tower 4.
No, it's different. He's the Scissor Walker, okay? That's different than Scissor Man. It's totally different.
You just keep telling yourself that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been looking forward to doing this one with you guys because although it's not the best Clock Tower game, it's definitely one of the most enjoyable ones. It's pretty fun and wacky, although it's not really the intention. It's pretty hilarious to watch some parts.
Oh, very much so. This has a lot of interesting ideas that I don't feel were ever really fully realized.
And we'll probably discuss the points of the game we actually like as we get to it. On that note, we are going to be discussing spoilers occasionally in this game. Both Genghis and I are pretty familiar with the plot of Clock Tower 3, so this isn't going to be a blind run. If you really wanted a blind experience, then there's probably plenty of other LPs of this game on YouTube that you can watch. We're not going to be spoiling everything right away, but we might be bringing up certain plot points a little ahead of when the game actually explains them. So just be mindful of that if you really wanted a blind experience.
You're not gonna get it here.
Alright, so without further ado, let's begin with Clock Tower 3.
Dearest Alyssa, how have you been? I think of you every day. It seems such a long time since you started your life at boarding school. It was after your beloved grandfather went missing while traveling 3 years ago that I sent you away to boarding school and told you not to come back for at least 6 years, without giving you any explanation. It must have been very painful for you, and I'm sorry, but it was for your own protection. Now, your 15th birthday is approaching, and I fear your life may be in danger more than ever before. Please go into hiding until your 15th birthday has passed. I know that what I am saying will make no sense to you, but please do as I tell you and hide as quickly as you can. Your loving mother, Nancy.
Mum. Alyssa, you're wanted on the telephone. It's your mother.
Hello? Mum? Hello? Are you there? What's wrong? Answer me. Hello? Hello? Mum? Hello? Mum? Mum? Answer me.
Mum, I'm back.
Excuse me. Are you one of the lodgers?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm Alyssa, Nancy's daughter. Do you know where my mother is?
Your mother has gone out. That was early yesterday morning.
Huh?
She mentioned that she would not be coming back for some time.
What?
She was wrong. She won't be coming back at all. So it's just you. You are all alone in this world now, little girl. My sweet Alyssa. I've been waiting so long for this moment.
Get away from me!
So, in that stunning introduction video, we are introduced to our main character,
Yes, this is Alyssa Hamilton.
the most Japanese-looking white girl I've ever seen.
And so we've got kind of a lot going on now. We had received a letter from our mother telling her that something dangerous might happen to us on our 15th birthday and that we're supposed to go into hiding until it's over. So, of course, Alyssa, being the protagonist in a video game, she ignores her mother's warnings and instead comes straight home to the family manor where she is accosted by mystery creepy dude.
Who immediately just gets right inside her personal space bubble.
Yeah.
Very inappropriate. That is the Dark Gentleman.
A character who will be seen occasionally later, and we get some explanation about who he is, but as we're gonna see, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Gentleman as he currently is because he's just kind of there
To be a spooky reveal.
Yeah.
He's a walking plot twist,
Yep.
but it's not a very twisty plot.
No. So we're kind of wandering around at the moment. Our goal is to try to figure out where's our mother. Because after we received her letter from her at school, we apparently got a phone call, and when Alyssa went to answer it, her mother wasn't there anymore. So I guess Alyssa's trying to be the dutiful child and make sure her mom is all right.
Right there we see a water vase. You know, I think probably the best course of action... oh yeah, here's the save data. You save it...
You save at these checkpoints here.
I cut out the save screen for you guys because it's boring. But I think probably the best course of action for Alyssa's mother would have been to not send any sort of letter.
Yeah.
And just let Alyssa exist at boarding school.
Or if anything, just go up there in person. I don't know, just the fact that she let this letter go on ahead of her. I mean, it's one of those things that it just invites Alyssa to get curious and want to come home looking for answers.
Then again, was it her mother Nancy that did send the letter? Or was it someone trying to play with Alyssa's emotions?
Oh, interesting.
We will never find that out.
Because we will discover what happens to Nancy a little later. So we'll kind of discuss that when it comes up. I guess just to point out, so Alyssa's mother, they rent out their giant family house to these lodgers. So Alyssa's kind of assuming that the Dark Gentleman is one of the lodgers here. And I guess that's maybe why she kind of just ignores him after he got a little handsy with her.
That's a really bad call, Alyssa. Like, if he's in the house, just leave or get an adult.
Yeah. Oh, and so here's a
Puzzle?
big fuck you.
No lights for you.
Alright.
So now we get a nice explanation of the panic meter. So this is a fun little thing.
This is kind of a staple of the Clock Tower series up until this point.
Well, it's not, though.
Do they do things differently in this game?
They do. The panic meter, literally every time something scary happens or you get attacked by someone, it goes up a little. And the only way you can die in this game is if an enemy attacks you while you're in panic mode.
Okay.
Panic mode can be subsided by using items that we will see later. That kind of thing. But yeah, basically when you hit panic mode, you run around in a blind panic. You stumble easily. So it's, it's really bad state to be in. Previously what had happened was if your health was low and you got attacked, you'd die.
Alright.
But here you don't have a health meter, you have a panic meter.
And as we just saw, by some plot convenience, this spooky door opened
Yes.
through this fireplace.
There's not really an explanation. Oh, and she's gonna bleed.
Ah, so
Oh.
sad.
Oh, that's scary. Oh, there goes my head.
Oh no.
Didn't mean to lose my head over things.
Oh, stop it, you.
I feel bad now. That's okay. Alright.
So this sacred bottle is going to be one of our key items in the game.
It's pretty great.
And here's a letter that apparently our mother hid in the head of the statue?
Well, she knew that it would cry blood and fall down.
But, so it's not just that. She knew that Alyssa would, assuming that she did write the letter, that Alyssa would come home, stumble upon the magic spooky fireplace to reveal the hidden room with the statue, and then the statue head would fall off and reveal the letter.
Yeah, and the fire would magically go out.
Mm-hmm. So this letter is explaining some parts of the game, the holy water and the sentimental items that we'll kind of come into play in a little bit here.
Yeah. The water can be used for a variety of things.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see one of those things momentarily.
Are we? You spoiler. Really, Nancy was planning on such a weird, convoluted series of events happening to protect her daughter.
Yeah, and we're gonna see later that there's even more kind of confusion regarding Nancy's actions in the game. It's just, all in all, it's...
The story is kind of shoddily crafted, if I can just shit on it a little bit. I love the story in this game, but not because it's good. Because it's ridiculous and over the top and goofy. Yeah.
So just to show you there, so that was one of the uses of the holy water, is that we're able to use it to break open those marks on the door.
Ooh. And you can see there that that mark is not activated right now, and it will be activated later.
And obviously it's being a little spooky.
Gonna just, yeah. And they just have a random boarded up door in their lodging house. That's good practice.
Yeah, imagine being a renter and you're kind of wandering through and you see that.
You're just like, what kind of ramshackle house? Of course, this could just be Nancy's quarters.
I like how Nancy got a nice little nameplate for her room.
Oh, everybody did. You didn't see Alyssa's because I didn't go in the right door, but she has a nameplate.
Ooh.
So does, her missing grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he go?
So how are the controls in the game? Because you kind of seem like you're
they are not
about.
Great. I think this would be a game that maybe kind of benefited from tank controls.
Yeah.
And, no, Alyssa just kind of moves like a spastic monkey. Oh, we're having a little bit of a sad moment. Oh, so sad.
Oh, my family ditched me.
Oh, so sad. I'm alone.
The music swells and I find a lot of scenes in the movie, or in the game, kind of go on a little long. I feel like they're trying to build up tension, but
they're not really. Yeah, they're not using the right camera angles, the right expressions, the right like just nothing. The scenes aren't very well crafted for what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a book. Oh. Look, it's this creepy man who accosted her in the kitchen.
Oh,
so now she's gonna leave the house.
Now, Chopin's playing and we're gonna spaz out.
Ah!
Sorry. I forgot she does that. She checks to make sure that it's not the CD player.
Well, I mean, come on, really.
It's hilarious.
That's a nice little detail. Oh, I'm just gonna run into this spooky door.
So I don't know if you could tell, but yes, this game really heavily uses mocap. And as you can see, it makes some of the scenes kind of hilarious because the direction for the actors is apparently flail about wildly.
Always be doing something. Stillness is your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Wha-bam.
So dramatic, spooky stuff just happened.
Sure did.
And Alyssa now finds herself in a strange new place. Are we still in the house, or... Alright.
Jog on, Alyssa.
Hmm.
Oh, well, the way we want it to go is now sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no choice but to go forward.
And run directly into the player. It's kind of a weird camera angle.
Well, it sets up for an okay little scene, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what the purpose of that room would be.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is different.
I hope this isn't our house.
So, yes, if it's not clear right now...
We are somewhere different.
We have traveled back in time during the war, in the midst of a bombing happening in London.
Oh no, the bus. And you can tell it's London because there's a double-decker bus. I don't know the history of buses here. I'm assuming they had them back in that time.
I assume too.
I'd laugh if it was just something they threw in so that it really said London.
Maybe, yeah. It's possible. So yeah, this is some crazy crap going on. Can I ask you, do you think that we've actually traveled back in time, or is this sort of like an alternate world that is kind of replaying events from the past?
That, I think, is probably more likely.
Yeah.
I don't know why I say that, though, because I'm trying to think of ways to back that up, and I can't.
I think the thing is that if we have traveled back in time, it's not really well explained, like, what's going on here. Because as we're going to see, this is going to be a reoccurring thing in the game, where the mansion is essentially sort of this hub world that we return to after each level.
Oh, someone had a bad time in that phone booth.
Oh, dear.
So, I'm just gonna cut Shaw off here for a little explanation of ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So in the game, you will encounter various spirits. It's a gameplay mechanic to kind of appease them, because otherwise they'll float around and scare Alyssa and get your panic meter up,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can kill you. So they're kind of just bad news bears all around. So as you'll see here, the way to deal with them is to return specific items to specific places.
Mm-hmm. These are the sentimental items that Nancy sort of referred to in her letter. As you can see, that ghost kind of really hits the nail on the head with what they want specifically. Not all of the ghosts are going to have their items so close within reach.
But as your first little starter ghost,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, this is sort of just the tutorial ghost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although this ghost seems kind of dumb because it was literally like less than 5 meters away from its sentimental item.
Hey, where is it? I'm a dumb ghost.
But as we're gonna see, it's sort of Alyssa's job in this game. More information is revealed about her and her family that kind of show that it's sort of their jobs to put to rest these spirits.
What I find really funny is they say sentimental items, but apparently the only thing people are allowed to feel sentimental about is a ring or a necklace. I can't actually remember if there are other items in the game. I think there's a pen or something.
Yeah.
But a lot of ghosts seem to have similar
Similar
items.
tastes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're being mean.
Whatever, that ghost was all up in my face.
And of course, in later levels, we're going to find that there's going to be multiple ghosts poking around the level, so you have to make sure you're giving the right sentimental item to the right ghost.
Mm-hmm. And generally it's pretty obvious, like, you're not gonna find, like, a ring and be like, I will stick it in this necklace box.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but you'd be wrong.
So, we just got a sigil stone from that ghost. Did you get rewarded every so often from the ghosts who sentimental item you give back?
But the greatest reward of all is that they go away. But the sigil stone there, is it sigil or sigil? Sigil.
I say sigil.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Just gonna display my ignorance here. But the sigil stone allows you to take an attack, and it just won't do anything to you. It just,
It basically gives you an extra hit point.
So those cans there are actually there for a purpose and not just annoying.
Decorative, kind of.
Basically, when you're running from, or when we meet the stalkers that you're going to be running from. Sorry if that's a spoiler for anyone.
Oh no!
Ooh,
Oh, my
it's a Clock
immersion.
Tower game with stalkers.
Jump!
No way. But if you kick those cans, that can alert the stalker to your position, and you will start a chase.
I sort of like stuff like that when you kind of make the environment sort of affect gameplay. It's kind of a nice little touch.
It is.
So as we saw from that fountain, we don't have a unlimited supply of the holy water. We need to make sure that we're constantly refilling it.
At this point, we have 3 slots. As we progress through the game, we will get more slots. So I'm actually going to run back there and fill up my water bottle.
Because we will be needing a full bottle of water pretty shortly here.
Also, I'm just paranoid and I don't ever like running out of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of helps build a bit of tension in the game. Whenever a game has specific save points that you have to backtrack to, when you're not able to save on the fly anytime you want, it, of course, adds a little bit of something to, oh no, another ghost.
Go away, ghost. I will say that you'll probably notice I save a lot. And do you want to know why this is? I have a story for you.
Oh no.
I used to play a game called Star Ocean, the second story, and that game has a glitch where it will freeze sometimes when you're in the middle of dungeons. So I saved like a crazy person.
You learned the lesson from that, and then...
Yeah. So as a result, pretty much every game I play now, I save, and I save, and I save. So yeah, we can see here that there's a little note. So now the ghost has a gold fountain pen to finish their note. Thanks. I like how they do the prayer from Final Fantasy X when they die. It's worth mentioning that Clock Tower 3 was in development at the same time as Resident Evil 4 and Haunting Ground.
Oh, interesting.
And so Haunting Ground and Clock Tower 3 are actually... based off of unused ideas for Resident Evil 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just learned this yesterday, actually. Playing Haunting Ground with a friend of mine.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So we just got a invisibility band from that last ghost there, and it's basically what it says on the tin. If Alyssa activates it, she'll be invisible for a short while. And Genghis seems a little confused about where we're going in the
I
game.
was just checking out to make sure I wasn't missing anything. I want to give you guys the full immersive experience. Nothing left unchecked. No text left unread.
And here we are at our destination.
Norton's Taylor.
Nice texture. And
Wow.
it's a Christmas sale, as we see from the sign, so we kind of know the general date of the events of this chapter already.
Well, I mean, you'd assume.
Well, I guess this is one thing that this level does nicely, is that it does use the environment to give you enough cues to figure out where exactly you are before it has to spell it out for Alyssa.
Although you could also assume that they didn't have time to take down their Christmas banner because it's being frickin' bombed.
I guess.
I'm just saying. Alright, so we got lavender water there. So this is a nice little thing that alleviates our panic meter. So if you're running away from an enemy, you can just splash lavender water in your face. And you'll feel way better about the man chasing you with a horrible weapon. So here's our little tailor's place. You can see the cute little Christmas tree. And apparently something terrible happened here.
Yeah, we're already seeing some
At least that's the kind of indication. I mean, I have to admit, when I first came in here, I thought it was just a side effect of the constant bombs.
So we get a letter to Daddy, and it's
From Daddy.
From Daddy, sorry. So again, we're kind of talking about Daddy's experiences in the war and how
He misses his daughter, who's been left alone to take care of the house here. So this is an evade point that I wanted to show. We will be making use of that later.
And
Oh no, the door's locked.
So yeah, it looks like possibly maybe there was a break-in of some point. we kind of don't really know what's exactly happening so far in this chapter. I guess there's the mystery of confirming where we are and just kind of what's going on in this place.
Yeah. But things is really messed up, and there's no sign of any life in here or anywhere else, which is also maybe why I think this isn't time travel so much as an isolated...
kind of an echo of the past, almost.
Yeah, because you never see any people other than the people you need to interact with. And I mean, in this case, you could argue it's a war, maybe people have evacuated.
Or people are trying to hide while the bombing is going on.
But, I don't know, in other chapters it just seems very weird.
So, we've seen some big splattering of blood on the wall somewhere, so there's obviously more going on than just what might appear to be a break-in of some sort.
There was probably some sort of injury. Man, I'm glad that Alyssa doesn't get hurt by all that flying glass. Nice clean desk.
It does seem like, I mean, we do see some evidence of kind of something going on, but then there's some very clean and well-kept rooms in here. Oh,
I dropped... Oh, I'm sorry. I just... going into people's houses and ruining things further.
so I'm gonna assume that possibly,
Look at that handsome man.
I'm gonna assume that can might also be a way to signal the stalker to your presence if you knock it over while they're chasing you.
You got it. Or not chasing you. That's the thing.
Oh, yes.
That's actually the main thing. Like, when they're chasing you, they're chasing you. But
Yeah.
if they're not and you knock something over, they can be alerted and the chase begins. So far, I mean, they're setting up atmosphere fairly okay. I mean, we had some rocky beginnings with the story.
Yeah. We kind of have to set up a lot of exposition to establish that there's something going on around Alyssa's 15th birthday, something involving her directly, and now there's spooky, mysterious stuff going on. But now we've got that out of the way, now we've got some genuine kind of mystery about what's going on exactly.
The lighting's nice. I mean, for a PlayStation 2 game especially, the graphics are quite nice.
And here we go, Christmas Day, 1942.
She was murdered.
A little girl named May.
Aged 12.
So this is the little girl that obviously the note from Daddy was for. May took part in a piano concert and was trying to get first place, but unfortunately
She messed up.
and did not get the top prize.
And we'll see later why that's especially a shame. Man, Alyssa.
So
Now we can see poor May, presumably being menaced by this
yeah.
dude.
So
Oh,
as
come on,
we
man. That table was expensive.
As we see, this is the aptly named Sledgehammer. This is our first stalker of the game.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
And in a way of raising the stakes, of course, his first sight of Sledgehammer in the game is we see him viciously murder a 12-year-old girl. This game does not want to joke around.
I'm a little confused though. Is this guy a good guy? Or a bad guy?
I don't know. I mean, the game is a little ambiguous. But of course, this is us establishing how exactly we're dealing with the stalkers in these games, because like the previous Clock Tower games, we aren't currently, emphasis on currently, armed with a weapon. So our only tactic is to try and evade. Evade and hide and...
And I will say, for all the flaws of this game, it does do a good job of making you panic when you are being chased by someone. It is definitely unnerving.
Yeah. I do wish that they could have staged this particular evade point a bit better, because I know that they're doing this for our benefit by having see-through curtains.
But it looks like Sledgehammer's just really stupid.
Yeah, I do wish that it was more like we're peeking out from a crack and we can just barely see a Sledgehammer kind of derping around in the room.
Yeah. And as you can see, they have teleportation powers, which is really stupid. It kind of takes a little bit of the fear away when it's... I don't know. For me, anyways. It's just...
I guess the intention is to maybe add to the fear that he can teleport away and...
maybe
whenever
teleport to you, but
Yeah.
it never feels like that. I also think that it's really funny to have them wander around going, where are you?
Yeah,
Where are
again,
you?
it just kind of... I kind of mentioned this in the previous Clock Tower games, but I sort of hate that because I feel like it makes the stalker just seem dumb. And when the stalker is dumb, I feel like it's kind of less scary.
Mm-hmm. Especially in this game where you can see a few places where the stalker clearly sees me go into a hiding spot, but still can't figure out where I am.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, they do have a chance of being able to find you and ruin your hiding spot.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to just check out poor little May's room.
Mm-hmm.
That was really quite brutal.
Yeah.
The first time I played this, I was quite disturbed by this scene. Poor May.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, we only get we get to learn about May after we see her dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit of a tragic story for sure.
Yeah.
Does she have throwing stars on her wall? Wouldn't you just throw them at the dude?
No, it's some sort of decoration.
So now we have an invite. Uh-oh.
So this big strong man can't kick down a door.
Well, I mean, it's probably like solid oak. Maybe he just skips leg day.
We just saw him pulverize a 12-year-old.
He skips leg day! He's just really big on the upper body strength. Oh my god, you just got your butt kicked by a 14-year-old.
I feel like she just winded him. Like, he's not even unconscious at the moment. He's just kind of taking a breather.
Well, I'm not sticking around to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding? That man has a hammer.
So, that is the one kind of flaw I find with, especially Sledgehammer's design in particular. He is this behemoth of a man, and yet he's able to get just kind of delicately shoved aside by Alyssa.
Yeah.
I know that she kind of, like, caught him off guard, possibly, by throwing the chair at him first, but still, I don't think the attack she did on him would knock him out so easily.
Yeah. And he really is, like, the biggest, strongest stalker in the game.
Mm-hmm.
All of the rest of them are kind of slight. So, I mean, I guess I can understand why they made him the first one.
Yeah,
but...
he's definitely the most intimidating, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of heard him teleport away.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean...
And once again, the mysterious music that we heard pops up. And we know that May was practicing for a piano recital in her backstory.
I kind of did that on purpose.
Yeah, you went out of your way to kick that one.
Sure did. So this is pretty stupid. You can't enter this piano hall without an invitation, which somehow it knows that you have one.
Yeah, this sort of seems like this leads more credence to the idea that this isn't really going back in time, in that, we just somehow magically affected the environment by picking up this invitation.
And now the door is locked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Trapped.
The moth did it.
Alright, let's have a look around this little hall.
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, there is a glowy thing.
Yeah, so like a lot of Resident Evil games, the glowiness helps to kind of pick out a item in the darkness.
And we're gonna save. And then we're gonna see you next time.
Yeah, for part 2.